And good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us for this, the second part of our playthrough of the classic Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone game, The Warlock of Firetop Mountain. This is a game book published in 1982 and intended to be played just with a single person, but I never did that as a kid, and we're not going to do it now. We're going to do it as a collaborative effort and have some fun playing through. Now we did the first part, and we got what Ewan tells me is possibly even more than halfway. On the map that you can see on screen, halfway might be signified by that pair of chambers with the sort of blue line river running through it. I'm not completely confident that we're actually halfway in terms of gameplay. However, we have taken some damage to our characters. We are the boys from the Baltic Star, by the way. Ewan is in the top corner and I'm in the bottom corner. We do all sorts of tabletop RPG related stuff, and normally in this slot we play our ongoing Traveller science fiction RPG campaign, but we're doing that tomorrow night because Luke isn't with us and it seems unfair to do it without him, since he's a very important part of the crew of the Baltic Star. So tonight we are just, Ewan and I are playing the hopefully second half of the of the book. Thank you, Jespionage. I hope you're doing well this evening. You reckon we're about 2/3? Okay. It's been a very long time since I played this book. In fact, I strongly suspect the last time I actually opened this book can be identified based on the fact that I bought it in 1982. So, on that basis, evening Sparrow, on that basis, it's been, the best part of 40 years since I looked inside it, and I really can't remember that much about it. So we will have some fun battling our way through. And the story so far, we have entered Firetop Mountain and battled our way through a whole load of rooms and chambers. Found some loot of one kind or another. Ewan is currently holding a crucifix, which was very handy against a vampire, and I am holding a sword, which apparently gives me +2 to skill-based rolls when I need them for things like combat. Well, anything where you stick a sword in things, I guess. So combat is a loose approximation.
Yeah.
So we are going to press on. We just got to section 89. And section 89 said, you climb through the opening and find yourself at the top of a narrow staircase leading downwards. Cautiously you descend the stairs. And then it says, turn to 286. And is that Luke? Hello, Luke. So it is now time to finally turn to 286, which I deliberately did not do last time, to find out what horrors await us. So, 286. The narrow staircase is cut into the rock, and there are about 20 steps leading down. At the bottom of the steps, a passageway leads you into a large open chamber. This chamber stinks of putrefying flesh. The smell is so bad you're tempted to turn back. 3 bodies lie in the chamber. You may either search the bodies or tiptoe quietly through the room. What will you do? And our options are to actually search the first, second or third body individually or tiptoe through the room.
Well, I mean, I'm very tempted to say let's search the bodies. There's a lot of options there, though. I feel as though something is going to happen.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? When it says you can search the first body and turn here, search the second body, it's yeah.
Or it just means that they've all got individual loot, which is quite a reasonable thing to expect, I suppose.
It is. The question is, how devious do you think the guys who wrote the book are?
I bow to your knowledge, Ben.
I'm going to assume that as has happened before, if you search the first body and you survive the experience, you may then have the option to search the second one as well. So, what do you think? Do we want to start searching bodies or just try and tiptoe through?
Let's search some bodies.
Search some bodies. All right.
Yeah.
Start with the first one.
That seems a perfectly reasonable place to start.
Okay, then we turn to 294.
As per last week, I'm not going to write down every number that is inside each individual
room. As long
as
as we have some save points.
Just the starting point, yeah. The starting point for the room, I feel, is a good...
Okay, it says...
A good place.
You find 5 gold pieces in the pockets of the corpse. Enter these on the adventure sheet and add a luck point. So we can each have a luck point for that.
I am currently at my maximum luck.
Same here, I'm afraid. But yeah, but an extra 5 GP is no bad thing.
Yep.
And then we have, unsurprisingly, the option of searching the second body or the third body or tiptoe through the room northwards.
Well, good things have happened. I feel we should push our luck and see what...
Nothing can possibly go wrong.
Things are bound to happen, yeah. This is no building to a climax or...
No, absolutely not.
That classic horror movie moment where you think they're going to jump out from behind the door and they don't, and then it pans around to the mirror and they're standing right behind you in the mirror.
Yeah. So we turn to 275 to search the second body. 275. That sounds like a lucky number, doesn't it? 275. As you move over towards the second body, you accidentally kick the third corpse on the floor. Yeah. Its eyes flick open, and it quickly sits up and slashes at you with long, sharp fingernails. Test your luck. If you're lucky, the creature misses you. If you're unlucky, it's caught you across the leg, and you suffer a stamina point's worth of damage. Okay. So,
I mean, I feel as though that's quite generous of the... the writers to give you a luck point and then, assuming you'd go on to search the second body,
yes,
make a luck test.
Okay, that's 610. That means I have been lucky, but only just, and of course it now costs me a luck point. So
yes.
there's the payoff. So at least I don't take a stamina.
Yeah, which is good. I rolled a 5, which is under my luck, which is what we want, isn't it?
That's definitely what you want. So you are also lucky, in the sense that you get to surrender a luck point, but not both a luck point and a stamina point.
And a stamina point, yes.
Excellent. Right. So with that in mind, we now, it says, you suffer 1 stamina point's worth of damage if you're unlucky, and you turn to 230.
Which I feel might be some sort of combat.
It turns out it might be. The creature now standing before you is a semi-decayed man. His quick eyes dart from side to side watching you. His long tongue flashes out with a hissing noise. His teeth and nails are sharp, and he doesn't seem to be afraid of your weapon. He's a ghoul. Now, the ghoul has skill 8 and stamina 7. However, it says he has the ability to paralyze you if he scores 4 separate wounds on you during the battle. So beware.
Ooh.
So if he kills or paralyzes you, it says turn to 64, and if you defeat him, turn to 390. So we are definitely going to both be attacking the ghoul.
Yes. So if he strikes one of us 4 times...
Yep. If he hits either of us 4 times...
Which equates to 8 points of stamina. Mm-hmm. Is that right?
Yep.
Wonderful.
Then we are paralysed, and we... bad things happen at that point.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Okay.
I can imagine.
So, for the ghoul, he has skill 8. So, my skill, which I've carefully hidden underneath my dice tray, of course, is now a
The best place
10
for it.
with my sword.
Oh yes, of course. You're +2, sort of attacking.
Right. So I roll a 7, that's all. Plus 10 is 17.
I rolled a 7 +9. It's 16.
Wonderful. Let's find out how well he does.
That sounds good.
He rolls a 9. Plus 8 is 17.
Ah.
So, it all depends on which of us he goes for. On a 1,
Which
2 or
one?
3, he's
Yeah.
going for you, okay?
Yep. Sounds good to me.
And it's a 3. So he lands a hit on you for 2
Yeah.
stamina. And I am unable to score a hit on him. He rolled just too well for me. Okay. Seconds away, round 2.
Try again. That is a 5, which is considerably less. +9
Yeah.
makes 14.
And I rolled a 6 plus 10 is 16. So it all depends on him not doing all that brilliantly. And he's rolled a 10. So an 18. So 1, 2 or 3 it's you. 4, 5 or 6 it's me.
Yeah, sounds
It's
good.
a 4. So I've taken 2 stamina this time.
I'm retiring those dice.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for hopefully some higher rollers. I'll save those for when I want to roll low. No, I won't. I'll throw them on the floor. Well, at least one of them.
Yeah. Okay. So
Right.
round 3.
The good news is he's splitting his hits between
That is the good
of us.
news. Yes.
That's much better though.
9 I rolled, so that's a 19 for me.
Oh, it's not as good as that. I rolled an 8, so that's a 17.
Okay, and he rolls a 2.
Oh,
So
good
that
times.
has finally scored some hits on him. We both hit him. His stamina is now 3. Another one like that, and he's done.
Wonderful stuff.
Okay, one more round, hopefully. And I have rolled an 8, so an 18 total.
I rolled a 9 +9, so 18 total.
Okay.
So it could be good.
Yeah, it could. And he has rolled an 8 plus 8 is 16 total. So I make that 2 more hits on him, which is enough to do him. That is excellent.
That is very good news. I'm glad.
Yep. We did well there.
Yeah, I'm glad nobody got paralysed.
Indeed. So if you defeat him, turn to 390. $390. The ghoul twitches and dies at your feet. You search its body and find little of interest. A couple of earrings, worth 1 gold piece between them, are in one of its pockets. You may take these. If you haven't already searched the first body, you do so and find 5 gold pieces, which you may also take. You may also stop here, rest, and eat provisions, which I think I'm going to need.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to eat some.
Yeah.
Eat some food.
And you
Go
can
down
add
to 7.
2 luck points for killing the ghoul. In my case, I can only add 1 because that's all I've got.
Yeah, same for me. So I'll go back up to 8 luck, which is my max.
Yep, I'm up to max. And then 1
and
provision.
Yeah, which adds 4 stamina, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Wonderful. Can I eat 2 if I want? Or can you only eat 1 at a time?
I don't actually know. That's a good point. I
I'm
don't
not
think
sure
it
I would.
specifies.
I'm not sure I would, but I'll leave it at 1.
Yeah, 2 would be really ideal for me. I'm exactly 8 off my stamina. However, going by the spirit of it, I think 1 at a time is probably the way to go. So that's 15 and food down 1. Excellent. Okay. So, now it says we can still search the second body. Turn to 393. What do you fancy?
Yeah, let's give it a go. It's
Second
where we
body.
started off. Something bad happened along the way. What are the chances that we're going to end up at something bad? It's happening again.
Okay.
I'd say 70-30, but let's see.
Let's find out. So we're going to search the second body. That's 393.
Yeah.
You search the pockets of the other body and find 8 gold pieces, a bottle of liquid, and an old piece of parchment. You may take these items. To read the parchment, turn to 212. To test the liquid, turn to 369.
So we're going to do both. Well, we're going to do at least one of them, I suppose, aren't we?
Unless the first one kills us outright.
Well, yes, that is true. Decisions. Liquid first?
Liquid first, 369.
Liquid first.
Let's do that.
Are we both doing it? Is that the plan?
I don't know what the instruction actually says. So it says you swallow some of the liquid, turn to 109. This can only be good.
Yeah. It certainly can.
The liquid is smooth and watery, and as you drink it, you begin to glow. You feel euphoric and a little drunk at the same time. Your confidence grows, and your weariness disappears. The bottle contains holy water blessed by the overpriest of Cainlesh Mar. It has restored your stamina almost to full strength. So increase your stamina to 2 points below your initial stamina. If your stamina was already higher than this, leave it as it is. Add points to your current skill to take the total to 1 point under your initial skill. Though, in my case, that's not a problem. I'm already at my sort of initial skill.
Yeah.
And you can add 4 luck points. Though, obviously, I can't because I'm already at my max.
Yeah, annoyingly, I'm at max skill, I'm at max luck, and I am currently exactly 2 points under my stamina.
Are you? Okay. I am 4 points under my stamina. So
you get to...
so I get 2 stamina back to 17.
Nice. Well worth it.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, reading the parchment takes it all away, in which case we should have done it in the other order.
This is something that I'm starting to learn about this designer. If you find 2
Order
things,
is important.
one will give you a luck point, and the other one will require that you test your luck. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So it says if you've already looked at the parchment, you may leave the room northwards. If you've not, you may look at it, or you may forget about it and go northwards anyway. I feel strongly we're going to look at the parchment, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's given us the option. I think if there's one thing these books have taught us, is that if you get a little bit of information or you get the option to do something, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Realistically, mad screams behind a door, we're going to go in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you read the parchment after we've just given you a little bit of a boost? Yeah, of course you
we
do.
So we're going to look at the parchment. That's turned to 212.
Yeah.
The parchment is well worn and almost illegible. It is a map of some sort headed The Maze of Zagor.
Oh, we got a map.
We've got a map. You can make little sense of it, although a room to the north is marked something 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 GER, and another to the east is marked SM something 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 P something 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 LE. Now, it is entirely possible this stream is about to become a crossword solving stream.
Was that SM something something something?
Yes, SM 3 somethings P 3 somethings LE. And the one to the north is 3 somethings GER.
GER.
Now, I'm assuming,
Wow.
when I say that, I'm assuming that each dot is a something. Because it's possible that those 3 dots are actually supposed to be an ellipsis, and they just mean a gap, a lacuna in the text.
Yeah.
Rather than actually indicating
representing characters.
Yeah. So it may be that the GER is the end of tiger or something, which obviously isn't enough if it's 3 somethings.
Yes.
But it could easily be ranger or something like that instead.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if they're printed and they're working with typeface. I guess that is representing a space, but not just having a space, because if you had a space, there would be nothing before it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So there is a room to the north marked something ger, and one to the east marked something. Yeah. But we don't know what any of the other things are.
And to be fair, I can't think of... there might have been rumours in the town, but I can't think of anything that would necessarily fit those.
I mean, the second one nearly meets small people.
It does.
Yeah, it could be small people.
Small people could be in the... Was that the east?
Yeah, that's the one to the east.
The east room, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe if there's a room to the east, we should try it. And if we find small people there, then we know that, these clues are of something of relevance. Yeah. If not, it could just be a language that we don't understand. Or,
well, at least when we get lost in the maze, we know who designed it. It's Zagor, apparently, we have to thank.
Yeah, Zagor's maze. Yes.
Okay. Okay, you fold up the map and put it in your pocket. If you've not yet tested the liquid and wish to do so, turn to 369. Otherwise, you can make your way northwards. Turn to 120. Okay.
I'm glad it said northwards, because that is what I...
that's what you drew, yes.
That's what I drew. It said tiptoe across the room, so yeah. I went out on a bit of a limb, but not too much of one.
Okay. 120. You leave the chamber, walk down a short passage and reach a staircase going up. You climb the stairs and arrive at the top in a passageway. Turn to 197.
We've just gone downstairs and now we're going back up.
Apparently this is just the place where they keep the ghouls.
Yeah. I mean, you'd keep them below floor level, wouldn't you, I suppose? Did you say 197?
Yes, 197.
I'm already getting behind, but I should have done that before I drew the stairs. Right.
At the top of the stairs, the passage turns sharply to the east. As you pause to get your bearings, you hear a creaking in the rock behind you. You spin around in time to see a heavy portcullis drop to seal off the passageway behind you.
Oh, no.
Your only way now is forward. You may either press on forward, or may check the walls for secret passages. We've been burned by the secret passages things before, but I feel since it offers us the chance, we ought to keep trying whenever it does.
Yeah, I like how it says, your only way now is forwards. You may go forwards, or you may search for secret passages. Let's search for secret passages, though. Why not? I'll hold off on drawing the portcullis until we find out where the passage may or may not be.
So, to check the walls for secret passages, turn to 295. So that's where we're going. 295. You find no secret passages. However, your explorations attract some sort of creature. And as you listen, you can hear something coming down the corridor towards you. To find out what sort of wandering monster you've come across, turn to 161. You must fight the creature, and if you defeat it, you may press on down the passageway. However, At section 161, you will not be told where to progress to. So write down 48 now, so you'll know where to go after 161.
Should we not die?
Okay.
Okay. 48.
So essentially, the next stop after the portcullis is 48.
Yeah. But we've got a detour because we decided to search for a room.
Yeah.
Search for a secret passage, and we're too slow.
So in essence, basically, we've doomed ourselves to a fight against a wandering monster.
Yes.
So to find out which monster is 161.
Wonderful. I'll write down 48 because that seems to make sense.
161. Make sure you've noted the reference as instructed on the last page. You'll return to that reference after dealing with the creature you're about to encounter. Your tappings and scrapings at the rock face as you search for secret doors and passageways resound through the dungeon corridors. We're so unstealthy. It is a problem we have.
Yeah.
Various creatures roam freely through the underworld, and your noises have just attracted the attentions of one of the following monsters. Roll one die, consult the table below and over to find out what has come to investigate. Fight the creature as normal. Wandering monsters never carry any treasure. If you defeat this monster, return to the reference you have noted. So, we get a goblin, an orc, a gremlin, a giant rat, a skeleton, or a troll. That is what we get. And
What? Sorry.
To be honest, I feel comfortable with any of those, but troll looks worse.
Yeah. Why do I get the amazing feeling now, though, that we're about to go into a maze and every single room is going to give us the option to search for a secret passage? Some of them are going to lead us back to this table because there is no secret passage, and some of them are going to lead us to secret passages.
You know, you could be right.
Which, to be fair, is a brilliant way to write this kind of book. I love it.
It is. I think that's really clever.
But it's going to be really infuriating.
Anyway, let's find out. So, 1d6. Do you want to roll?
No. You be my guest.
Okay.
I'm sure there'll be ample opportunity for me to make a roll as well.
And I have rolled a 3. So we get a gremlin.
Okay.
Gremlin has skill 6 and stamina 4.
That sounds like a breeze.
To be honest, it sounds like we can do this.
Yeah. Famous last words.
Famous last words. So, away we go.
Yeah.
I completely missed my dice tray with my dice. Okay, we'll try again.
I'm going to make a quick roll and then I'm going to get the jaw for the cat because they are, clearly more important. I rolled a 2, which so that's an 11.
Okay, I have a 7, so it's a 17.
Oh, that's much better.
7 plus 6. So it also did an 11. So you take no wound, but it takes 2 stamina from me. Okay, we might get it this round.
Well, yeah, that's not bad. I'll banish those dice then.
Fair enough. I rolled a 6 this time for 16.
And I rolled a 7 for a 16.
Okay. And it rolled a 9, but that's only a 15 because it's only got skill 6.
Ooh.
So we butchered the gremlin. Truthfully, it's just done. That was not even close. So there's nothing after the table. It just assumes you've remembered the number 48 in this case, and we can go straight to 48. Okay.
Wonderful. I feel a lot more confident about searching for secret passages and not finding them if all the monsters are like the gremlin.
You are in an east-west corridor. If you go east, you will turn a corridor northwards. To go this way, turn to 391. To go west, turn to 60. So west is essentially where we came from.
Yeah, but it's a different number.
But it's a different number. So obviously there may be a different west. So we can go east and then it turns north, or west. What do you think?
I mean, I'm really curious as to what's going on, but I think realistically, I'd carry on down the corridor and turn north.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I'm only curious about from a
Yes.
game design point of view, I suppose.
Oh, well, yes, indeed. Yes, what's in this person's brain? What is in the diseased imagination?
How's this going to work if we go back and turn to a...
Okay,
Who knows?
so if you go east, you turn a corner northwards. To go this way, turn to 391.
Wonderful. I may be getting ahead of myself, but I think 391 is going to be up there because we've turned.
Okay. You're at the south end of a north-south corridor. Looking northwards, you can see a passage coming off from the east wall. Do you want to go up this passage? So go east, I guess.
Yeah.
Check for secret passages as you walk northwards, or go south following a bend to the west. And though I'm sure this is slightly metagaming, south following a bend to the west does indeed take you to 48.
Okay.
So...
which makes perfect sense.
It does, yeah. So on that basis, the question is, do we want to check for secret passages, which will presumably lead to us fighting a troll, or go up the passage to the east? Because apparently you can't go north and not check for secret passages.
Oh. More importantly, wasn't there a room to the east that led to small people?
Good point.
However, though, this does go back on the all-important door or west wall that we were following from our last game. So I'm not sure. I'm conflicted, if I'm honest.
I mean, Chespionage says north then east. I'm not sure if he means take the passage to the east or check for secret passages going north and then find an east, because we don't know that yet. Following the left-hand wall won't work.
And to be fair, Chespionage has never led us wrong.
He never
in the
has.
First session.
I think what we're going to have to do then is try the passage to the east first. If for no other reason than it might lead us to small people. And I want to find small people. Okay.
And Chespionage says north. Nope, just go to the east passage.
Okay, we will do this.
I feel that's the right way to go.
So to go up this passage, we turn east and we turn to 52.
Wonderful.
You are standing at a T-junction, where a passage to the east comes off a north-south corridor. Surely it means a passage to the west, right?
Yes, the route that we have just taken east.
Yeah, okay.
Leads north, south. That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, okay.
Because otherwise it's a crossroads.
Yes. So you can go south, you can go north, you can check for secret passages on the way south, or check for secret passages on the way north. So, I mean, my strong temptation is to say, let's go north, but check for secret passages along the way, just in case.
Yeah. I mean, so this is even more complex than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be, you are in this area, would you like to check for secret passages in this area? You either find one or you turn to the random monster, the wandering monster table. But no, we have two locations in this area that we can... that we can search for monsters. Can you quickly go over the
options.
description? The description as we walked into this room. Espionage tells me that there is no south.
I see. Okay, we've obviously gone wrong here. You're standing at a T-junction where a passage to the east comes off a north-south corridor. That's it.
So is it east? Is that? It's got to be a T-junction, so it's either going that way or it's going...
I get it. Chespionage is suggesting that even though it said take the east passage, it's actually saying the thing we've just described is actually where we were before, the 391. So we need to go
right.
east to 291. So effectively 52 is at the previous junction.
52 is there, yeah.
So 52 is where 391 was as well.
Okay.
And then it says head east. Okay.
Yeah.
So to go east from there, which is what we were planning to do anyway, it says turn to 291. And it doesn't give you the option to search for secret passages and wake up a troll. So we now go east and we're going to go to 291.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much, Chespionage. I get the feeling this is possibly us getting used to a different person's writing style, maybe.
It's quite possible,
me,
yeah.
certainly me getting used to that.
You are standing in the middle of an east-west corridor. To the east is a dead end, which you can investigate by turning to 315. To the west is a familiar junction. To go this way, turn to 52. Yeah, we've been there.
Yes.
Another passageway, quite a short one, leads off to the north and ends in a large wooden door. If you wish to try the door, turn to 227. It has to be behind that door that we find small people, yes?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So
I would say.
Though I have no reason to believe that small people is actually what it said, of course, but here we go. So we're going to go up to the door and try it, and that means we go to 227. So it's the door to the north. 227.
227. I'll leave that off because I get the feeling 227 may just be the door, but I might be wrong. I'll wait ready.
The door opens and you find yourself in a small, smoke-filled room. Sitting in the room around a wooden table are 4 tiny men, each about 1 metre tall, but all are apparently fully matured, with weathered skin and long bushy beards. They're cursing, laughing and joking as they play a card game. Each one is leaning back on his tiny chair, puffing a long clay pipe. On the table are a number of copper coins and 4 mugs of ale. As you walk in, their merriment stops. They're on their guard, but don't appear to be too dangerous. One stands up and makes some comment about your lack of manners, not knocking before you came in, and the others nod their agreement. Do you chat to them and try to befriend them, apologise, bow and leave the room, offer to join in their card game, or draw your sword and go for the leader?
Oh, choices. I mean, I feel as though we don't need much. Well, I suppose the reason we're here is gold, isn't it? Really, so we could offer to try and win some gold off of them. But I don't know. What's your instincts say, Ben?
Well, I mean, they might have useful information. Maybe try to befriend them.
Yeah. I mean, we certainly last game, I think we went for the option of trying to befriend people where possible.
We did, and so
certainly
far
the non-monstrous race people.
It's on average done us no more harm than good.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, we did befriend the screaming madman with the chair leg. You know, which ended well.
We did. Which, in fact, I think was my most favourite encounter.
Yes,
You know,
it was good.
I quite like it. Quite like a good madman.
Yeah,
That's why I'm friends with Luke.
there you go. Okay, so we will try to befriend them. That's turn to 131. 131. You chat about various things, and they seem eager to be friendly. They feel lonely in the dungeon with so much evil about, and are happy to speak to visitors of a lawful disposition. They tell you that you're in the maze of Zagor. The only way out is to go deeper into the dungeon. They tell you that the way through the maze is to leave the room and turn right, right, left, then keep going straight, and then they begin to get a bit vague. They're not entirely sure it's correct. You may, if you wish, eat a meal from your provisions, but you'll have to share it with them, and thus will gain only half of the normal stamina points. And eventually you thank them and leave the room. Okay.
I tell you what, I'm going to share some provisions with them because they've given us some good information, and I'm only 2 off of my max anyway, so it makes perfect sense. Well,
I am in fact 2 off my max as well, so I shall also burn through a provision.
Yeah, I mean, I can't take food with me, can I?
Nah.
When I inevitably go
Yeah.
in this dungeon.
I mean,
or maze,
clearly we're going to we're obviously going to die here, so we might as well die with full bellies.
And they've given us some vague and confusing directions, so
yes,
I'm happy to share some.
So the only way to go from here is to thank them and leave the room. Go to 291, and there we've been before, so no surprises at least.
Yeah.
So we're back in the middle of the east-west corridor. To the east is a dead end. Now we can investigate it by turning to 315. However, the guys said turn right and right again, didn't they?
Oh yeah, of course they did.
So,
sorry, I was thinking that was going to be from from where we've already drawn the map, but it's not, is it? It's from where we actually are now. So yes, let's turn right, which in fact is
the way we've come.
Yeah, the way we've come, and then back up. Yeah, and then left.
Okay, so we go to the west and turn to 52. Yeah, that's where we go. So we head west, and that's 52. We'll try it. .52. You're standing at a T-junction where a passage to the east comes off a north-south corridor. This seems very familiar. So we can check for secret passages on the way southwards, or just go southwards. We can check for secret passages on the way northwards, or just go northwards. I feel northwards is the way we haven't been yet.
Yeah, and that is our second right-hand turn, isn't it?
That is our second right-hand turn. So do we check for secret passages on the way?
I'm inclined to say no, but only because
we think we're starting to get inside the mind of the creator here.
No, I'm tempted to say that we've got directions from some old bearded wise men. I'm not saying they're wise, but they seem to be pretty confident about their directions up until the point where it got really vague.
Well, let's at least follow them as far as it goes. So we now want to go north effectively, and then straight on at the next junction, whenever that is. And then after that, they get vague. So
was there not a left and then a straight on?
They said right, and then straight on.
Left, and then straight on?
Oh, did they say left? I can't remember now.
I've written down some arrows and I put down a left.
Okay. Then maybe left.
I mean,
straight on. Yeah.
I'll watch the VOD. I may be wrong. But let's find out. Let's see what the options are.
So we are going to head north, and to do that, we turn to 354. Just making sure I'm on the right one. Yep, 354 it looks like.
Yep.
You are standing at a bend in the passage where you may go either west or south. to go west, to go south, and then guess what? Check for secret passages west, check for secret passages south. So this is hopefully the left they were saying.
Yeah.
We can hope.
Yeah, I'm confused. I don't know whether they would need to specify that you turned left if there is only the option to go left.
It's a good question. I don't know exactly what they meant.
Who knows? They've clearly been down here a very long time.
Okay.
It may very well be. Would you like to check for secret passages, Ben?
No, not while we're still following their guidelines. When they get vague, that's when we should start checking the passages, I think, yeah.
That seems reasonable.
So to go west, we turn to 308.
Wonderful.
308. You are standing at a crossroads. To the west, the passageway goes on a few metres and then turns northwards. To the north, the passageway ends at a door. To the east, the passage continues and goes southwards. And looking south, the passage goes on as far as you can see. So, there are no options here to search for secret passages. There are just 4 ways away from here. And to go east is, of course, 354. So, west, north, south, or east. I think this is where we're still within the bit that they actually remembered.
Yeah. So
I think this is straight on. So the question is, since we've encountered a door, should we go and find out if that's where the Gur is?
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. I'm really worried, though. I mean, the only Gurs I can think of that have 3 things before it is danger.
Yeah.
No, not even stranger. Manger? Manger? Who knows? Who knows?
Could be hunger.
Thanks, Chespionage. I will lengthen the corridor.
Oh, because the one to the south goes as far as you can see. I get it, yes.
Yeah, that makes
sense.
Perfect sense.
Yes. Good plan, that man. Thank you. I appreciate this.
Very valuable.
Yes, it is valuable advice.
Selection tool. Not doing me any favours, but thank you.
So we could head north and lick door to find out if there is something in there.
Yeah.
I mean, because yes, obviously we want the way out, but there might also be some loot or something.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, even if it is danger, when have we shied away from danger and poisonous snakes in boxes and various other crypt-filled rooms that contain vampires? Well, precisely. And there is a door. Let's give it a go.
There is a door. So to the north, the passageway ends in a door. To go north, turn to 54. You are standing outside a door at the north end of a north-south passage. To go south, turn to 308. And to go through the door, turn to 179. Well, you know, we came here for a reason. So 179 it has to be.
Yeah. Makes sense.
"179. You have entered a large square room. Broken pottery lies scattered all about. One large clay vase is untouched and is full of clear liquid. A large bowl is full of gold coins. This is going to end brilliantly. As you enter the room, the door slams behind you. Ominous.
Brilliantly.
And you swing around to face a strange-looking creature. Half man, half bull, who is glaring at you. He is...
Of course, the broken pottery should have been...
a minotaur. And he stalks
should have been
towards
the
you.
sign.
Yes, they...
Oh, Mr. Leno. I don't know what's the scarier option.
You've literally just turned up where, as Jonas pointed out, they literally put a bull in a china shop.
Yeah. Exactly. Sorry, Ben, just quickly, that was 179, wasn't
179, yes.
Perfect. I feel as though this might be a need for a save point.
Yes. He is a minotaur and he stalks towards you. He lowers his head, horns pointing at your chest, and charges. You must fight him.
You must.
You must fight him. Well, you could just, let him kill you, but I feel that's not helpful. Right. After 3 attack rounds, you manoeuvre yourself around to be able to run through the door. If you wish to escape at this time, then turn to 54 and pay the escape penalty.
Yeah.
He gets a free hit on you, basically. If you continue fighting and kill him, turn to 258. And if you've already been in this room in the adventure and killed the Minotaur, you find it empty, leave, and go back where you came. So here's the thing. There isn't actually an option for we escaped with our lives, but then came back and went into the same room again. We couldn't fight him, we just decided to flee, and then a little while later we came back and wandered in. So I think we're going to have to kill the guy or run away and not come back.
And never return, yeah.
Yeah, but I feel pot full of gold coins.
Mm.
We are here after treasure after all.
Well, precisely.
So let's at least see how it goes. He is skill 9 and stamina 9, so he is not a walkover.
No. No. Not by any stretch of the imagination.
Okay. Let's see how it goes. So round 1.
But we've at least got to last 3 rounds, and I think after 3 rounds we'll have a vague idea of whether we're going to have any chance at all or not.
Okay, my total is 17.
I rolled a 10, which is good, so I got a 19.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
I can't see whether you can see that on the camera or not, to be fair.
And the Minotaur has scored a 15. So that is the beginning of a solid licking on the Minotaur. Definitely.
Oh, I like these dice.
2 hits. His stamina is down to mere 5.
That certainly is a good licking. Thanks, Justin.
Yep, excellent. However, I've just rolled double 1.
Oh, no. It's on me. I rolled an 8 plus a 9.
Well, that's better. Now, the Minotaur has only rolled a 5. So, this is going to be heavily dependent on which one he goes for. If he goes for you, then I achieve nothing, and you actually get... you beat him. So he's going to lose another 2 stamina or whatever happens. If he goes for me, I'm definitely going to take a wound off this. And he goes for you. Thankfully, the Minotaur, therefore, has picked the wrong target. He should have gone for me because I'm useless, but he actually went for you. So his stamina is now down to 3.
If he'd have given it more thought and, not just charged in like a
Exactly.
in a china shop.
Yeah. It's like we look like a gate, to be honest. Anyway. Yeah. 3rd round. After this one is when we can flee if he's still alive. But so far, it's been going okay.
We've done all right.
That's not great, though. 15 total.
Don't fail me now. Oh, I rolled a 5 to get a 14 total.
Aha.
They failed me now.
And the
Although it's
Minotaur
dependent.
has rolled an 11 for 20 total.
That's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the one.
Let's find out if it's you or me. It's me. Of course it is. I feel that with a roll like that, actually, it's a bit of a cheat that he only gets to knock off 2 stamina from me. But there you go.
Yeah. Thanks, Mr. Leno. I believe in us too.
Yes.
Although I'm going to change my dice because I don't believe in those dice anymore.
No.
They started off well, but one fleeting round of combat.
The problem is they've got no stamina.
Yes, that is indeed the problem.
Okay.
Stamina failed.
Okay, away we go. And this time I've done a bit better. I've rolled an 18.
Oh, see, Mr. Leno, the minute you said go Minotaurs, it worked. Ben rolled an 18. I rolled a 9 for a +9 for an 18.
For an 18, okay. If the Minotaur doesn't hit at least 18, he's done.
Just realised.
And that's an 8 plus 9 is 17.
Oh!
Wow.
And a bit
Very
of Luke's
close,
still.
but we have in fact done for the Minotaur.
Wonderful stuff.
Okay, so don't wish to escape. Well, there's really no point in escaping now. If you continue fighting and kill him, turn to 258. Yes, we continued fighting and we killed him. 258. You sort through the broken pots and find little of interest. The liquid looks, smells, and tastes like water. The coins in the pot are a fraud. 8 genuine gold pieces lie on the surface of the pile, and we can have those, but underneath are merely painted pieces of pot. We've been ostraconned.
We've been duped by a Minotaur who smashed up some pots and placed 8 gold pieces on top.
Yeah.
Of broken pottery to make it look like there was more gold in here. Well.
Ooh. As you tip the vase out, it slips and breaks. A red-coloured key appears, hidden inside a false bottom in the bowl.
Ooh.
You may take this key. It is inscribed with the number 111. Okay. That's our second key.
Yeah, what was the other one?
The other
That
one was
had
a
number
bronze
90.
key with 99.
Bronze key 99. And we were told that there were 2 locks on the final treasure, wasn't there? Was something about that, wasn't there? Rumours in the town, although rumours have been well off, to be fair. We were told to say one gold piece for the boatman, and we needed 3.
That's true, yes. Yeah, well,
So-
apparently that was
So who
inflation,
knows? Yeah.
which is
Yeah, which,
shocked,
I
to be
suppose
honest,
is
as a
understandable.
rate of inflation.
Yeah, and inflation doesn't really work with keys, it works with money. But
True, yeah.
I've never heard of a key inflation, if I'm totally honest.
No, nor have I.
Who knows?
Okay. Now, you may rest here and eat some provisions. I'm actually not going to, because I'm only down 2, and I don't know how much more of this we've got to do. I'm going to stick with 17 stamina.
I'm actually at full stamina after fighting a 9/9 Minotaur.
Excellent.
Would you believe it?
I took a hit, but it's only
Mostly,
one.
mostly thanks to you taking a hit.
I'm on board for the moment. So, because of that, I'm not going to worry about that. And it then says you can add 2 luck points. But again, I can't because I'm fully stocked.
Yeah. As am I.
Finally, you leave the room. Turn to 54. Okay, so second key is good. I think that could be important.
Yeah.
54. You are standing outside a door at the north end of a north-south passage. To go south, turn to 308. To go through the door, turn to 179. 308, we feel, yes?
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
You're standing at a crossroads. To the west, the passageway goes on a few metres and turns northwards. Okay. To the north, the passageway enters the door. To the east, the passage continues and eventually turns southwards. And looking south, the passage goes on as far as you can see. So, what we need to do here is, if we're still following the instructions we got from the small people, we go straight across, which is west.
Yes. Although I'm still in two minds as to whether that left-hand turn was in fact the only left-hand turn that we could take, and do we turn left here and then go straight across? But then that seems to be going very south and not at all in the direction out of a dungeon. I would agree. I would agree that west seems the sensible.
I mean, I'm a little bit concerned that south appears to be somewhere that we may have to go, but yeah, I don't know if when they said turn left they meant turn south or they meant the last one, but let's assume we're in the right for the moment and we're just going to keep pressing on to the west. Okay, so to go west we turn to 187.
Sorry, I got a little bit caught up in chat. 187. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to do. We want some text.
You're about to find my lair.
We are indeed. Well, we're in your maze, indeed. I believe.
Yes. So 187. You're standing at the corner of a bend in the passage. To the north, the passage ends in a dead end. To investigate, turn to 171. To go eastwards, turn to 308. So essentially, this one ends in a dead end to the north, and to investigate it, turn to 171.
Right.
So from here, essentially this passage just turns north and then ends in a dead end.
Yep, sorry.
But we do have the option to investigate it.
Which I feel as though we should do, frankly. I might have not left myself enough room.
It feels plausible that this will be an opportunity to encounter more wandering monsters, of course.
Yeah, or search for a secret passage and then not find one, or find one, who knows? I think we should investigate. But I'm open to not investigating if you're...
No, I'm
up
worried
about wandering monsters.
So far we have beaten every foe we've faced. So let's have a crack at it. Zagor, that sounds amazing. I'll have to check that out. Okay, so let's investigate this. Turn to 171. You are standing at the north end of a short north-south passage. You're at a dead end. To investigate the wall, turn to 337, or to go southwards, back to 187. Okay, so investigate 337. 337. Oh, not good.
Uh-oh.
You find no secret passages, but as you press the walls, you hear a click. You feel dizzy and slump to the ground. When you come to, the surroundings look strange. Turn to 267.
Oh no. We wake up somewhere random in the maze. I do love those words though. You hear a click.
Yes.
suddenly fills you with a sense of dread without having any idea of what's about to happen.
Yep. Should end well. Okay. So this is where hopefully we can remember where we've been and what numbers we've been using, because all it says is you now stand at a crossroads. To go north, to go south, to go west, to go east, all have different numbers. And I don't remember any of those numbers.
Okay, well this is good because I mean we've got one crossroads unless we're way back at 37, which could be a possibility. Although I don't believe it would be because 286 didn't have the option of if you've defeated these.
True. So you have to be straight through this, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, or it could be, a crossroads somewhere over here, completely way off.
Yeah, it could.
What numbers have we got then?
Well, to go north, 312, to go south, 246, to go west, 79, and to go east, 349.
Oh.
So.
Where do I put this? Ben, when I agreed to map this out on graph paper, you didn't tell me that I was going to be drugged and dropped into a crossroads that I had no idea where I was going to have to put it and try and link it up with the rest of the map that I'd already drawn.
I think it's fair to say that if
I feel
if I did that when I played through it, I can't remember if this is
nah, that's fair enough.
This is the way I played it through. I may have done something different. All I can tell you is, if I did it that way before, I didn't remember.
No, that's fair enough. Well, I mean, I feel we've used up all other options here, so it's kind of got to be somewhere south.
Okay.
South and
and
west of what we've already got, right?
Why not?
Let's stick a crossroads in somewhere random.
I mean, we can always.
If I need to pick it up and move it somewhere, I can.
We may find that one of these passages leads to somewhere we've already been.
Yeah.
And then we'll know where it connects up. But it may actually be that this is a deliberate break in it and there's no way back, so to speak. We'll find out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So you now stand at a crossroads. North, south, west or east? What do you fancy?
Well, I mean, west has been our go-to unless there's any doors, hasn't it?
West is our go, as you say.
Or at least the left-hand wall, I suppose. I guess it depends where we're situated on the crossroads at the minute. But if we're bang in the middle,
which means essentially we've got nothing but left-hand walls.
Well, yeah, that is very true.
Everywhere we go has a left-hand wall.
Yeah.
I think. Let's go west then. What the hell?
Yeah.
It's a direction. It's probably as good as any other. So let's go west and we turn to 79.
Perfect. I'll get this.
Oh, sorry. That crossroads, by the way, was 267.
Oh, yeah. I do believe you said that.
That could be a useful...
I just completely ignored you. 267. Wonderful.
That could be useful. So 79 we need to go to next. The passageway ends in front of you in a dead end. If you wish to search for secret passageways, turn to 137. If not, return to the crossroads at 267. I mean, I suspect we might have to search for secret passageways at some point. But I would feel better if we'd sort of mapped out a little bit more of this map before we start poking around for the next click.
Yeah, although we've just had a click, haven't we? What are the chances there's going to be two? Although
well, they didn't know we would go west first. Maybe people usually start off north, and there's a whole maze to explore before you encounter the click at the end of 79.
That's true. I feel as though we're in a good position to be searching for secret passageways,
Okay, let's give it a shot.
like
Then.
stamina-wise. But I was about to say, I feel as though you're right. We can't do every single one, can we? Because we'll never make it out.
We may eventually have to go back and search all of the places that we never searched for.
Secret passageways to begin with. Yeah, that's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
You're cool, Ben.
Let's try and map out a bit more first.
Yeah.
So, if not, return to the crossroads at 267. Okay, so at least that one doesn't take us to a completely different place. You now stand at a crossroads. Okay, north next. Hugging the west wall, so to speak.
Yeah, sure.
That's
That makes perfect
312. North. Okay. Now I have some good news. You follow a long, narrow passageway which goes north, west, and north again, and you eventually find yourself at a crossroads. North, west, north. You eventually find yourself at a crossroads, and then it says turn to 308.
Oh, you're kidding me. That's perfect.
So, other than the fact that it goes east rather than west, that's close enough for our purposes.
Yeah.
That's close enough for government work.
I can drag it, actually, can't I? To keep things accurate, because I don't want to mess things up too much. Let's delete that.
So essentially, don't delete the numbers.
I want to try and... I'm going to have to... Why is it not selecting the numbers? I'm not entirely sure why it's not selecting the numbers, but I can move it.
Okay.
That's going to be annoying, isn't it? Because realistically, I want it to be there. But I feel as though I should have left more space up here. Or more space north is probably what I should have done. Let's go for like a part way.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't say how long the little west shimmy is, so it can be one square, can't it?
It can literally be a little chicane.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Oh. Yeah. We'll go like that. Oh, no, right. Too many clicks.
Too many clicks. Spoil the broth.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right, sorry. Do go on.
So that one we know. Okay, that leads to 308, which I've now got to go to in order to find the one that we turn back down. So if we go south, it's 160. From 308, I mean. So 308, south, 160. Which is weird.
Yeah, although I assume that's going to be a corridor turning east and then south. Or going left
yes,
and then right.
It is, you're right.
Ending up at a crossroads.
You follow a long, narrow passageway which goes south, then east, then south again, until you eventually find yourself at a crossroads, turn to 267. Yeah. Yes, you're quite right. Yeah, so cool. 267.
Yeah. I mean, this might be the maze section that feels different in the... well, sorry, I missed a bit of chat. But I was saying how I thought that the first half felt a very different writing style. Yes. But it might just be that the maze has a lot of... a maze has, you know, you're between these two segments, and that between section has a number. Opposed to just going into the next segment and having the number that you are at.
They also have a slightly different feel. The first half feels very exploratory. It's a series of rooms. You just knock on the door, go in, knock on the door, go in. And this one's much more complicated in terms of its structure, I think. But
yeah, Zagor was saying that the first half was written by Ian, and the second half was written by Steve,
Yeah.
as it was. And then Chespionage went on to say that a publisher put something out that Steve had to go back and rewrite
Right.
Ian's section in his style because there were such contrasting styles.
Yeah.
And I thought they were still quite contrasting, but that might be, as I say, the maze issue. Because in fact, if you look at the river, which I think is the divide, we had a bit of a section afterwards where I was still doing okay mapping it out.
Yeah. Yes.
Or, in my estimates are okay, at least.
Well, if we keep going with these, when we get to Scorpion Swamp, it's going to be quite interesting to find out if the other Steve Jackson has a completely different writing style to these two.
Ah, that's very true.
But that's a long way off in the future, so don't panic about that one yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, how many did they go through in the end? Was it 50 odd?
I don't have all of them, so I couldn't help with that. But I've got...
In fact, I think we probably said this last week, didn't we?
I've got probably 15 or 20 of them, so I've got a fair few to go through. Okay, yeah. So now we're essentially back at 267. So we've tried 79, so we've got one to go east or south. Which do you fancy? East, stick to the west wall again?
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'm catching up on chat, and I'm going to somewhat follow Chespionage's advice and just move the whole thing up a little bit. So we've got somewhere for the East Passage to go. No, that's not what I want to do at all, is it? Sorry, do go on. Yeah, let's continue to go east.
Okay, so continue to the east. That's 349.
Perfect. 349.
Okay. Now this one says, you walk just a few metres down the passage and find yourself at a dead end. You may either return to the crossroads or investigate the end of the passage.
Well, I mean, we can investigate it, but that means that I don't have to worry about where I'm selecting my stuff from to try and drag it. What do you think? Do you want to investigate or not?
I mean, one part of me says that investigating is kind of what we're supposed to be doing. Another part of me says, what if we wake up in another crossroads and we don't know where it is?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, there might be a secret. We might be coming across secret passage territory.
We might, but by my
But then that leads me to having to actually edit the map.
But by my reckoning, we've now got only one passageway that we know exists that we haven't walked down.
Yeah, that is true.
So let's at least find out where this goes first, and then if necessary, we'll have to wander back and try secret passages everywhere.
And to be fair, this is coming back to our 227 small people conversation, where if you don't take that left-hand turn at 354 because
it's not really a left.
Because you have to take it. It's not necessarily a left. And you get to the crossroads and you turn left. And then you do the little chicane. And then you have to go straight across to get out. Which makes sense. So I'm tempted to say let's not investigate and let's go back and do what would have been straight across, which is now south.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that and find out if small people were actually, absolutely bang on right.
In a very roundabout way. I mean, to be fair, either way could be right, because we went across and we got drugged, I suppose, and found ourselves at this crossroads anyway.
We did, in fact, as we went across, discuss whether or not that left was a real left. We weren't sure at the time. So, okay, 267, and then we go south, which is 246. That sounds like a brilliant number. Nothing can possibly be bad in 246. Okay. You set off south along a cobbled passageway. It swings west, which is thankfully for the for the map, then south, and then west again. And then you find yourself at a three-way junction. So essentially it's west, south, and west again is how it turns. And then the three-way junction basically includes a passage turning to the north.
Okay. Let's go west, south,
and west again.
West again, and then we get into a.
And then there's a T
three-way
junction
passage
where basically the T is upside down. So it continues to the west, but there's also an exit to the north.
Okay, perfect. Let's go that far, and then that gets us back into the centre of those bigger squares that I've sort of been using as a general unit of measure.
Yeah, to my amazement, they're talking about Scorpion Swamp. To my amazement, when I first got this when I was a little kid, Scorpion Swamp says at the front of it, Steve Jackson and Ian Livingstone present. And then, as I'd done with all of the preceding 7, when you open them up, inside there was a sort of a thing which said which one of them had written it. And so it says, Steve Jackson, Ian Livingstone present Scorpion Swamp, and then Steve Jackson. It never even occurred to me that the Steve Jackson at the top of this page and the Steve Jackson at the bottom of this page are two completely different Steve Jacksons. They are not the same Steve Jackson at all. That is amazing to me. Genuinely amazing.
I mean, it's a great coincidence, I suppose. Yeah. It's serendipity. It's very serendipitous. Yeah. In my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. It's yeah, I didn't find that out until, well, ages and ages later, that they were two different people.
Yeah. But yes, as Zagor says, I'm familiar with GURPS, less so with Car Wars, though I did see recently on some social media the front cover of it pop up. Yes.
Yeah, I played Car Wars. Car Wars was very good.
Oh.
Yeah. The weird thing is I knew there were two Steve Jacksons, because I knew Steve Jackson Games, the American company, wasn't the guy who wrote the Fighting Fantasy books. The one that really baffled me is when that in fact was the guy who wrote one of the Fighting Fantasy books.
Yeah. That crossover. Sorry, Ben, what was the number for this T junction that we are at?
Right, the number we are currently at is 246.
Sorry, I got a little bit.
Oh, fair enough.
Caught up in chat as well as trying to map this out and remember numbers.
So 246. You set off south. It swings west, south, west again until you find yourself at a three-way junction, and you can basically go back the way you came, though it offers a different number, which is peculiar. But it's probably as the last one was. It just gives you the directions in a different order.
Yeah, go north, go east. End up at 267.
Yes. So we've got the option basically to go north or to keep going west.
This is where their directions, assuming that the small people were right, this is where their directions get a bit vague, and
this is where they
pretty much on our own.
Advice.
Yeah. So the left-hand wall would be carry on going west.
The left-hand wall would be carrying on going west. Are you happy with that?
I'm happy with that, unless you want to. I mean, at some point, I feel as though we're going to have to break from tradition. But Chespionage says go on, follow the left wall.
This is the moment, you see, where now, because we've run out of instructions from the small people, this is where I actually want to start searching for secret passages. And it doesn't offer us it suddenly.
Yeah, it's typical, isn't it? But yes, let's carry on and follow the left-hand wall.
Okay. We will go west then. That is turn to 180. 180. 180. The passageway goes west and then south. Finally, you come to a stop at a dead end. You may return to the three-way junction and go east or north, or you may investigate the dead end.
So we've got a three-way junction.
Yep, and then
which
it goes
is
west
much like...
and then south. And then comes to a dead end.
Right. Sorry, say that again.
So, yeah, if you go west from the three-way junction, the passage goes west and then turns south.
And then turns south.
Yeah, and then it comes to a dead end. And we've now, so effectively, other than secret things we haven't investigated yet, we are still with only one open-ended thing. But we are now finally offered the chance to investigate the dead end. And this dead end is 180, by the way.
Cool. I will write that in because if there's nothing else around that area, I might as well give us an extra save point, as it were.
Possibly, yes.
Should we come into some
Should
more
we need to?
Is it ogres,
click
trolls?
Again?
Yeah. Or, the click.
So, yes, if this one goes click again, we could be horribly lost once more. But we only know of one unfinished passageway that we could wake up in, so to speak. So let's press on. And it says, you may investigate the dead end. And I want to investigate this one because I think we are now beyond what the small people told us.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I trust your judgment, Ben.
Okay.
Luke wouldn't, but...
All right. So we will investigate the dead end and turn to 22. This can only end brilliantly. 22. Oh, for God's sake.
Turn to the monster table.
Oh, no. No. You poke around looking for signs of secret doors, but can find none. You pause to ponder your situation, and a small jet of gas hisses from the ceiling. You cough and choke to clear your lungs, but collapse to your knees. Your head spins, and you flop to the floor in an unconscious heap. When you come to, you look around in an unfamiliar place.
Oh, perfect.
Turn to 4.
Oh, 4?
Turn to 4. Okay. You find yourself in a north-south corridor. To the north, the passage turns east some metres ahead. To investigate, turn to 46. To the south, the passageway also turns east. Turn to 332. So we are... We're in a north-south corridor, which is effectively a C shape, aren't we?
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's a C shape. And we genuinely have no idea where that is. But let's hope that it's connected in some way to 246, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and draw it up here. Are we talking this sort of C shape?
Yes, except it's actually shaped like a C, not an N.
Yes.
It's a...
Right. I see what you mean.
It's a north-south passage we're in the middle of.
Yeah. and then at some at some point, hopefully. Okay.
I mean, I'd probably draw it a bit further away just in case there's some interstitial stuff.
Yeah, and then we can. So sort of over here. Let's say.
Yeah, try it up there somewhere because it just might be.
And then I can always drag it if need be.
Sure. So you find yourself in a north-south corridor. To the north, the passage turns east some meters ahead. To investigate, turn to 46. To the south, the passageway also turns east. I feel that the small people did not prepare us for this decision.
No, they certainly didn't.
And both directions have a left wall, so that's no help. We don't know yet what the Gur is, unless... Do you think the thing to the north... the thing to the north, do you think the Gur was in fact danger, and that's what the... that was indicating the Minotaur?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a safe assumption. Thank you very much, Zago, for joining us.
It's very kind of you to come along.
Fun.
Thank you. It's very interesting. So we'll have to check out your stuff and find out what you're doing. That sounds enormous fun to us.
I very much look forward to watching some of these be played by somebody who knows a lot more about the universe, or at least the books, than I do. Certainly. Yeah. Good night. Thanks for joining.
Yes, very kind of you to come along. Right.
Yeah.
So essentially, we can go north, or we can go south. But in either case, we're going east.
Yeah. Presumably not towards more small people. I would assume that the danger is either the danger from the poison spike that knocks us unconscious, or the Minotaur.
Or possibly to the north of this bit. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Who knows? I mean, I guess if we go south, we're more likely to get back to 246 and maybe join it up.
We'd be able to orient ourselves better. Let's try that.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
But I don't know whether that's worthwhile doing or not.
It's worth a punt.
Frankly.
Yeah, let's give it a shot. To the south, the passageway also turns east. Turn to 332 to go south.
Okay.
So let's find out where 332...
I love how we've clearly got a compass with us, because
yes,
not only do we always know which way is north no matter where we are, we also always know which way is north once we've woken up from being, clearly poisoned or intoxicated or drugged by something.
Indeed. Oh, and where we woke up in that sea was location 4, just in case we do need to go back there.
Okay.
Sort of in the middle of the sea.
Somewhere about there.
332. This was definitely a good call, Ewan. You find yourself at a door blocking the east end of an east-west passage. To go through the door, turn to 329, and looking westwards, you go back to 4. So, this is a door. We know what to do with doors.
Yeah, we've always opened them, haven't we?
We've always opened them. And
or at least tried to.
That's
I
often
think there was
gone
one
reasonably well.
Yeah, I think there was one which we failed. But other than that, I can't think of any bad experiences with doors.
Okay, to go through the door, turn to 3... Well, there was a Minotaur behind one of them.
Oh, well, yeah, that's true. But that ended spectacularly, apart from the fake gold. Or at least the illusion of fake gold.
True. We did actually get a great key out of that. So,
yes,
329.
That's very true.
We will go through the door and turn to 329. I mean, I say we'll go through the door and haven't found out if we'll get through it yet. 329. You set off and find yourself in the middle of a north-south passageway. Hang on a minute. Is that right? 332. To go through the door, turn to 329. It does say that. Just didn't seem to sort of line up necessarily. So 332 goes to 329. Okay.
329.
You set off and find yourself in the middle of a north-south passageway. Okay, all right. That was me getting confused because it didn't say you come through the door or anything.
Yeah. We come to a T-junction. Is that what it's saying?
Well, essentially, yes. We're in the middle of a north-south passageway. There's a door in the western wall.
Yes. Right. So this is setting us up to come at this from
from
any
the other
direction,
side,
basically.
if needed,
yeah. Like so.
Opposite the door is a passage going off eastwards. And to the north, you can see a door some metres ahead.
So there's a door at the north at some point.
Yep. So from here, there's a door a little way to the north. There's a passage to the east. And there's a passage to the south. And to the south, you can see a junction. But we don't know what well, I mean, we know what number to turn to, but we don't necessarily know where that's going yet.
Yes.
So we can go. It is in fact not really a T-junction at all, is it?
No, it's a crossroads. Because there's a passage to the east.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just that sort of two of the limbs of the crossroad have doors on them.
Yeah. What was the other door? Was that the east?
So there's a door to the west, the one we came through, basically.
Yeah.
There's a door to the north, a passage to the east, and a passage to the south, which apparently leads to a junction. Now, I'm tempted to say, let's go south and find out if the junction it leads to is 246.
Yeah, which would be really convenient.
Okay, let's try.
I suppose.
So southward says 238.
Okay.
Um, 238. You're at a three-way junction. To turn east, go to 70. To turn west, go to 180. And to go north, turn to 329. So, look at where 180 is. That means that the junction we're at, the 238, is the same junction as 246.
Right, okay.
Because if you go west, you get to 180.
Yeah. Perfect. That makes wonderful sense and is really confusing as a way to write a text adventure book that you're trying to map out.
Deliberately designed, yes.
Beautifully confusing.
So it's the same location, but if you come at it from a different direction, it has a different number.
Yeah.
Which is why they call it a maze, I imagine.
Yes. And possibly why so many people get frustrated.
Yes. So we can go to 329 and return back to the one to the north.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm just going to do that because that looks about right to me.
Yeah, looks good enough. Actually, looks perfect. So, 329. That's why it says you set off rather than you come through the door, of course. And find yourself in the middle of a north-south passageway, so we can go east or we can go north and through a door.
I don't mind. I'm tempted to say north just because that means that if we go east and there's loads of stuff through there that I don't have to rearrange the map quite so much, but that's a very selfish reason. so feel free to choose whichever you prefer, Ben.
Fair point. I'm tempted to say east on the basis that well, it doesn't necessarily matter. I'm wondering if let's
do east because
the other side of 4 makes more or less sense, if you know what I mean. But
let's do east because all I'll do is I'll move that.
We go to 299 and we go east.
Yeah.
299.
I'll move that up to there for now, and then
Right, the
All
passageway
it's gotta
runs
do is
east for
drop some
several
lines in
meters
there.
and then runs north. You walk a long way northwards, and you may either check for secret passages along the way, or simply proceed northwards. So it turns north and just becomes a
Yeah.
long passage to the north.
Well, let's sort of go like that tentatively for now, and see what happens. Do you want to check the secret passages?
Well, I mean, I'm tempted to say yes because we're now out of the help from the small people, but equally,
Yeah.
every time we check for anything, we wake up somewhere new.
Yes. I'm also, I mean, the thing that worries me most is it says that we go a long way and we can check for secret passages. It doesn't give us options of where to check for secret passages. Whereas, do you remember we were at a crossroads and it said you can check for secret passages north or you can go north, and you can check for secret passages south and you can go south. That implies to me that one of those has a secret passage at it. Whereas if you've got a long corridor that's going north and you can just check for secret passages, generally speaking, that probably tells me that something bad is going to happen.
Or it just flips
Maybe
you to
that's
the Wandering
metagaming.
Monster table again.
yeah, exactly. Maybe I'm metagaming. Who knows?
You know what? Let's at least try and complete the map as far as we can without worrying too much about secret passages.
Yeah, that's true. It does just add another dimension as well, doesn't it? Although it might link up some of these numbers that, some of these dead ends.
Well, it might, but to be fair, so far we've got everything connected together. We've only got two things that we don't know where they go.
That is very true, which is a pretty good maze.
Which is
to
a
be
good
fair.
start.
If you can map out a maze and only have 2 open ends, you're doing okay.
Yeah. All right. So
cool. Let's do it.
Let's just keep going. Yeah,
Let's just go
359. We just proceed northwards at 359.
Let's go here and see what happens.
Okay. You are at a crossroads. To go south, turn to 94. To go north, turn to 190. To go east, turn to 121. And to go west, turn to 385. I don't recognise any of those numbers at all, do you?
No. I certainly don't.
I'm tempted to say extend that corridor to above
all the way
179.
179, yeah. That's a good call.
Because it's a crossroads and we have no idea what's going to happen.
Yeah, let's see if I can select. I don't think I can select text. Let's. Can I do that? No, that won't work. Let's just draw a big line above it. Up to about there. We're also not near any crossroads, are we, necessarily? So it's not like we could be coming in from 79 to
No. Well,
267, because that was a barred off wall, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But we're not near 308. We can't come into 308 from another direction necessarily, because there's no, we haven't found a secret passage. So this makes perfect sense, I think.
Okay, so this crossroads is called 359, the one we're at now.
Yeah. Okay, wonderful. And we just ignore the lower down 359 if we need to. Okay, perfect.
Okay. So, north, south, east, or west? I feel that south will take us to, where we know about.
329, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, north, west, or east? Going to try west again?
It's not done us wrong so far. We are still alive. I feel west is a strong choice. Unless chat have got any.
We'll try it. 385. You travel westwards for several paces. Then the passage turns to the north. Some way up, you reach a junction. You may go south or west. And if you continue to the north, the passage ends shortly at a dead end. And if you'd like to go up that way, then turn to 398. So essentially, the choice is we can go back the way we came, we can go to the west, or we can keep going north to a dead end. So if we go west, it turns to the north.
Yeah.
And then some way up, it offers a west or a north that ends in a dead end.
Okay. Good night, Luke, and good night, Mr. Leno.
Good night. Yes,
By the
thank you
way,
for joining us.
Thank you very much for joining us. Right, so we go west. Sorry, Ben. I was completely involved in chat then.
Yeah, Chespionage, I'm not convinced you have our best interests at heart. Because as far as we can tell, everything bad happens when you investigate dead ends.
Twice we have woken up somewhere
Yeah.
that we are very unfamiliar with.
Twice we've
which has
woken
not
up in
helped our
unfamiliar
mapping.
places.
Yeah. What are the options as we go west, Ben? Apologies.
Okay, so essentially you head west and it then turns north.
Yeah.
Some way up you reach a junction and you can either go back south or west. And if you keep going to the north, it ends in a dead end, which you are free to go and investigate, of course.
Okay, perfect. So we got that, pretty much.
Yes. And Sparrow, I think, is right. We are probably due a break.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe. Maybe I could do with getting some more wine, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, I probably couldn't, but I'm going to anyway.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's do that. Let's take a quick 5 minutes to indeed take a little break.
Thank you very much, Sparrow, for looking
thank
out
you
for
this is
chill.
the hydrate button, isn't it? This is what you're pushing.
Yeah. Or the opposite of.
So yes, we're actually at 385 at this moment. That junction is 385.
Wonderful. I'll add that in.
And that's where we'll take our break, and then we will decide to reconvene in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Right.
We should be back shortly.
Thank you very much. We will be back in just a few minutes. Yes. If you stick around, we may or may not ever get out of this maze anyway, but it's all of the chat. We'll see how far we can get. All right? Cheers. And welcome back. We are currently on paragraph 385, stuck in the maze, which we may or may not ever get out of, because it's entirely possible that Steve Jackson, who wrote this part, is actually much smarter than us. But we'll find out.
That is very true.
Because it's possible that we just aren't up to this. We'll find out. So we have the choices to press on up to the dead end or head west. Or we can go back south, which takes us to 114, which is in fact a new one, if that makes sense. It's a new number, I think. But it may just lead us back the way we came, obviously.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, as is tradition, I would generally say let's go west.
Let's go west. Turn to 297.
Also, as is tradition, Ben, I'm happy for you to override that.
No, I feel we need decisive decision making at this point.
It is getting to that point of the evening, isn't it? Certainly. I'm gonna go an extra square over to my normal though, because I feel as though some kind of tomfoolery or trickery is about to befall us. 287, did you say?
297. Yeah.
297. Wonderful.
And it says you're in an east-west corridor with a T-junction at both ends. To go westwards, turn to 150. To go eastwards, turn to 256.
Wait, so we get to another T-junction, basically.
Yeah. So if you go... So I'm assuming essentially what that means, because it says at both ends, there's probably a north-south, yeah. Exactly like that, I would think.
Yeah.
Is my guess.
Oh, yeah, it could be the other way, couldn't it? And because 297 is halfway down the corridor. Okay, cool.
But if we keep going west to 150, we'll find out if it says there's a north-south passage.
Yeah. Apologies, I got a little bit ahead of myself
So
with
if we
the
go to 150,
297, didn't I?
Well, let's find out, because you're probably right. Go westwards, turn to 150. You're absolutely right. You're at a three-way junction to go north, south, or east. It gives you different options. And 297 is the one you get to if you go east. So that at least makes sense. We can go north or south, or back the way we came.
That's going to be well, again, I suppose south is the left-hand wall, isn't it?
It is. Yep. So let's try it.
Let's give it a go.
South is 133.
Okay.
You're in a north-south corridor, which ends in a dead end. You look around the rock face for signs of anything interesting when suddenly a rock breaks loose above you and lands on your head.
Oh, really?
Although the blow was not particularly hard, you find you are feeling dizzy. You fight to remain conscious, but are unable to do so. You slump to the ground. When you open your eyes, you are at a junction.
Of course we are.
Turn to 52.
Oh. Wait. Have we got 52 anywhere? Nope.
No, 52. Okay. Right. So 133 is a knockout point. And then we go to 52. You're standing at a T-junction where a passage to the east comes off a north-south corridor.
Right.
To go south... Oh, now this is interesting. Because some of these numbers look more familiar.
Right, that's good.
391, 362, 354, 234, or 291.
We've got 291. I've got 391. What are the other ones? 264.
234.
234, which we haven't got.
Well, that's probably... Yeah, so to go east is turn to 291.
Okay, right, perfect. So we're here. We've got to be here, haven't we? Because that's 291 is that way. I probably wouldn't have done the interim number because that probably would have just been...
Absolutely.
You turn north, and to go back, it's going to be you turn west, isn't it? Because that's a different, the opposite travel down the same corridor. So we're here.
Yes. So
right.
We found 291. So if we go north, let's quickly check that if we go north, we're on the same thing.
I'm going to do that.
If we go north, it's 354.
Yeah.
And then we go west to 308.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can obviously do that and then go down to 267 and down to 246.
247.
Now, what I'm tempted to do is to actually, to make sure we were right about the 246 connection, how about we jump to 246?
Yeah, and then go north instead of 180. Because did 180 take us to 4? Was that where we got to last time? Yes. We investigated 180.
Yes, that took us to 4.
Just going to put some more arrows in, so we're... And this one, the one, is that 137 took us to 246? No, took us to this one.
Yeah, I think it did. Yeah, it took us to 267 or thereabouts, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, on that basis, if we ignore 308 and assume that we then follow down to 267 and what have you, we'll go to 246,
246.
And then check ourselves.
This seems sound. I feel like we're making progress.
Okay. Set off south, along a couple of patches, rate swings west, then south, then west again. That looks very, very likely. And then you arrive at a three-way junction where you can go west, east, or north.
Yeah.
Which we think is 246. And if you go north, it goes to 329.
Ah, perfect.
That's absolutely ideal. Okay.
Wonderful. That's just what we want.
So, now that we know that's accurate and we haven't screwed anything up, how about we jump to 297 and head north?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the furthest.
Rather than going through all of the individual interstitial steps.
Just for the sake of anyone who's not seen the first episode, we are generally heading north. There's been a slight little off to the west, but generally speaking, we want to be going north. Mm-hmm. And I would agree with Ben. I don't think that C junction at 4 is going to take us much further north, unless I've misproportioned the amount of
let's
east
at
and
least
west.
Basically go back to where we were immediately before we last got knocked out.
I think 297 and go north is a fair assumption.
297, or it's probably 150 is actually that junction, isn't it? Because you've got 297 written twice.
Oh yeah. Sorry, 297 is the bit in between.
Once for the end. Yeah.
Yeah, that was me getting ahead of myself.
Well, you were right though. You're at a three-way junction.
Yeah.
To go north this time, because 133 is bad. To go north.
Well, actually, 133 confirmed some things for us. I feel it's a positive piece.
So to go north, you go to 222. Okay. You walk up a long corridor, round a sharp hairpin bend at the top,
Ooh.
and finally along an east-west corridor, eastwards to a crossroads. So I don't think it means necessarily hairpin literally. Or maybe it does.
We just do a U-turn.
Do a U-turn
to,
and then head back a
get
bit
to a crossroads.
Yeah, like that, maybe, yeah. Eastwards to a crossroads. Yeah, that looks as close as we can get to the real
That's
design.
kind of, yeah, I mean, it's not probably a sharper hairpin, maybe, but...
Well, it's
I'm sticking with the 1 or the 5 squares.
Yes, absolutely.
Unit measure for a room.
So you then turn to 85.
And the crossroads is 85.
So 85 is the crossroads, we think. Yes, you're at a crossroads. North, south, east, and west. That's all it says. And 106, 373, 318, and 59. I think those are all new numbers.
Yeah.
So following the left wall, in this case, would also drive us to the north.
Yeah, which is good. It's kind of what we want, isn't it?
The only question is whether we should head south and see if it joins up with 369.
Yeah, or 385. Was there a door at the top of 385? Either way.
It was a dead end, if I remember, but you could go and
okay,
investigate.
you could investigate it. So it might be either a secret passage or a 369.
Yeah.
I'm happy. What's the worst that could happen? I suppose we come across one of those monsters on the Wandering Monster table is the worst, or we wake up somewhere else. But I'm happy to do that if you feel as though it would make the map more complete.
Well, it would, but to be
fair,
our
journey through the maze more
now,
complete.
You remember how at one point we were cheerfully saying we've only got like 2 things that we haven't explored?
Yeah, that's true.
We're now 6.
Getting more and more, aren't we?
So perhaps just pressing on north may be the way to go. Perhaps.
I'm perfectly happy. I don't think it would be much of a detour. Did we? It didn't say we go to. Did it say we go a long way north?
This one it just says you're at a crossroads. So just go north, go south, whatever.
Yeah. Oh no, sorry, but the bit in 297 when we went
it
north,
said that was a fairly long way.
Okay, so there could be a section. It could be further up here. There could be more to the south to investigate. I don't mind. I'm easy. Your choice, Ben.
Let's try north to start with, because after all of our debate, it's probably going to say you come to a dead end.
Yeah.
So north 106. The passageway ahead runs northwards for some time. You may rest along the passage to eat provisions if you want. Do I need provisions? Or do I need stamina, I mean?
I'm not max stamina.
I'm okay, really. Only 2 off max. I can live with that for the moment.
Cool.
It then bends to the west and begins to get quite narrow. You reach a small rocky arch, which you'll have to stoop to get through. On the other side of the arch, you pause and look around. You're in a large cavern, which disappears into distant blackness. The cavern is partially lit by natural light, which streams in through a hole in the roof. You cannot see a way through. As you shine your lantern around the cavern, you hear a rumble. A dull glow flickers in the blackness. Suddenly, a jet of fire shoots from the depths of the cavern, narrowly missing you and singeing the mossy growths on the wall. You throw yourself on the ground and look up to see a large dragon stalking out of the darkness towards you. Smoke curls from its nostrils. Its scaly red skin glistens with an oily covering. The beast is some 15 metres long. How will you attack the creature? Draw your sword and prepare to attack, or search your memory for another means of attack. Did anyone tell us anything about dragons?
I'm pretty sure we picked up a dragon scroll. Didn't we have a scroll of dragon killing?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did indeed.
we found something that was some words, and you were like, "Oh, am I going to need to remember the words, or do I just need to know that I have the scroll?" We definitely had a scroll of something.
Let's find out if I needed to write the thing down.
Search your memory. Search your memory, Ben.
Search your memory. We turn to 126. Does the name Farigo Di Maggio mean anything to you?
Yes.
Yes, it does. That's what was written on the thing.
Certainly does. It was his scroll of something.
If not, you must fight the dragon. If it does, turn to 26. Yes, 26.
Oh.
You remember DiMaggio's small leather-bound book and silently mouth the spell contained within its pages. You shout loudly at the dragon and it stops in its tracks. It cocks its head to one side and eyes you suspiciously. You fling a stone at its head and the rock bounces off its nose. The beast lets out an angry cry and breathes deeply, a roaring sound being created from within its throat. The dragon exhales, and from between its teeth you can see another fireball building up. You prepare yourself, and as the ball of flame comes from its mouth, you cry, Ekil Erif, Ekam Erif, Erif Erif DiMaggio. The fireball continues no further. With an agonised scream, the dragon tries to shake the flames from its snout, but the burning continues. Squealing in agony, the dragon turns its back and leaps into the blackness, flailing its head from side to side. Turn to 371.
That's some top quality scroll work.
That was a very good scroll.
DiMaggio, good at dragon scrolls and centre field. Was he? I think it was a centre fielder for the Yankees.
Yeah, Joe DiMaggio. Yeah. Safe for the moment, you investigate the cavern and find a passageway which continues to the west. Turn to 274. You may rest and eat provisions before you continue. Same thing, I don't really need them. And add 3 luck points for defeating the dragon, except I'm fully stacked on luck points. Still.
The scroll just one-shot the dragon.
Yep, the scroll just one-shot the dragon.
Wow.
So, turn to 274 to continue.
Yeah, I don't need any luck or... Hold on. Or any health. Definitely worth picking up.
Yeah, that was useful.
that was probably a chest somewhere that we were debating whether to open or not, whether another poisonous snake was going to jump out.
Indeed. Yeah. So, 274. You leave the cavern along a long, narrow corridor. After several hundred metres, it ends at a large wooden door, which is slightly ajar. Carefully, you ease it open a little further and poke your head around the side to see what's in the room. You see a small old man sitting at a table on his own, playing with a pack of cards. He looks quite a harmless old soul, grey-haired and bearded. He is seated. What will you do? We can burst through the door, sword drawn to surprise him, knock on the door and enter, greeting the old man courteously, or get down on all fours and try to creep into the room unnoticed. I mean, wow. I have to say, so far we've always approached everyone with an open heart until proven wrong.
Yeah, apart from the dragon. But, it's a dragon.
It's a dragon. and it had already fired some breath weapon at us. So
Yeah. We weren't the instigators. Apologies, Ben. Was this just a straight westward to a room?
Yeah, just a
passage.
straight passage ending in a door.
Wonderful. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with the courteous.
Okay, let's try it. That's 356. Turn to 356.
And then if I go like that, I can stick in another
Yep.
doorway when needed.
356.
356. Perfect.
The old man looks at you, accepts your greetings, and bids you sit down. You sit at the table and notice he's glaring at you. His piercing stare is becoming hypnotic, but you realise this and break eye contact. He opens his mouth to speak, and to your amazement, instead of an old man's voice, the whole room resonates to a powerful voice, which seems to be coming from the walls themselves. You throw a glance back at the man and can see him changing before your very eyes. He is of imposing height. His tattered old rags have become robes of velvet and gold. His black eyes are fixed directly on yours. He has been expecting you. Turn to 358. The battle will call upon all your reserves of strength and cunning. Your adversary has disappeared and now stands at the far end of the room in front of a door with 2 locks. How will you approach him? So 2 locks is good because we have 2 keys. So we can grip your sword firmly and advance towards him. Look through your pack for a weapon to use. Look around the room for another means of attack or defence. That's it. So those are our options. We can attack him with a sword, we can hunt through the pack for a weapon, or we can look around the room for another means of attack or defence. Now, can you remember a weapon that might deal with a very angry warlock?
This feels like a boss battle, certainly. I mean, you've definitely got a good sword.
Yes, I have.
which would be helpful. I don't think. Did you pick up anything else? I certainly haven't got anything else written down on my sheet other than the crucifix.
Well, I've got a potion of invisibility.
That's
I've got
true.
some cheese. We've got potion of invisibility, cheese, and 1 black silk or velvet glove or whatever.
Oh, there was something about gloves, wasn't there?
There was. So I'm wondering if one of those might be.
Yeah. Was it the strength of the warlock was?
Yeah.
In their gloves or something similar. I'm sure that's way off. But
well, it's worth a punt.
Yeah.
So let's try looking through the pack for a weapon, which is 105. I mean, we've got a save point. If we have to go back, we have to go back. 105. Right. You rummage through your haversack. What is in there? You may attempt to use any of the following items if you have them on your equipment list. Potion of invisibility, Eye of the Cyclops, a piece of cheese, a bow with silver arrow, or a Y-shaped stick. I do not have Y-shaped stick, bow with silver arrow, or Eye of the Cyclops. But potion of invisibility and piece of cheese I have.
No, neither do I. Eye of the Cyclops sounds pretty cool. Menacing, though. I wish we'd got that.
That sounds like something we should probably have had before we came here, to be honest.
Although, to be fair, that I can only assume that means that we would have had to have defeated a Cyclops, which could be easy, could not.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the dragon was pretty easy if you had the right tool for the job, I suppose.
Yes, that's true. So, I'm so tempted to go with piece of cheese just to find out what the hell it says at 368.
I mean, it's cheese or invisibility.
Yes. Logically, invisibility is the way to go here.
And seeing as you wrote them both down, Ben, I'm happy for you to make the decision, because all I have written down is the keys, the numbers, the crucifix, and buy potions and food rations.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So, be my guest.
you know what? I'm going to remember the number 105. And I desperately want to find out what happens if you try the cheese.
Yeah.
Which is 368.
I mean, it was good cheese. Sweet cheese, wasn't it?
Something
sweet
like that,
cheese.
Yeah. So 368. The Warlock's laugh resonates in his chamber. We will see which of us is the mouse, he cries and holds his hand in the air. As he snaps his fingers, a blue flame streams from his hand at you. Lose 3 stamina points. Oh, good. You'll have to try something else. Draw your sword and advance, or try something else from your rucksack. Well, to be fair, it's worth 3 stamina points to have tried the cheese.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been an amazing, weird reference. Something
could have been.
Something spectacular could have happened. I shall take off 3 stamina points.
Take off 3 stamina points, and we'll go back to 105, which is what it suggests you do.
Yeah.
So that's okay. Suddenly kind of wishing I'd eaten the provisions when it gave me the chance. Potion of invisibility. Turn to 39. Your opponent is surprised as you disappear in front of him, but he raises his hands as if to cover his eyes and scans the room with an intense gaze. He can sense your presence, but can't make out exactly where you are. You draw your sword and advance. He tilts his head and sniffs the air. You'll have to fight him from a distance, as, if he gets his hands on you, your invisibility will be no advantage. But while you remain invisible, you have the following advantages. You may add 2 to your dice roll when determining your attack strength. Each successful attack will cause him 3 points of damage because he can't defend himself properly. And each time he inflicts a wound on you, throw 1 die. If the number's odd, he wounds you as normal. If it's a 2 or a 4, he only inflicts a 1-point wound. And if you roll a 6, you parry it altogether. Okay? So, we get +2 for attack strength. We score 3 points of stamina every time we hit him. And every time he hits us, it's a regular wound on an odd number. A 2 or a 4 is a single point wound. And on a 6, we actually parry it completely. Okay?
Is this while we're attacking at range? As in range as in bow and arrow?
It doesn't actually say that. No,
we'll just have to not grapple him.
Yeah, I guess just stay at sword point, because
it
then just says resolve the battle. So,
okay.
And gives you his stats, which are, I'm delighted to say, something that we have a few advantages on. Because we're going to need them. He is skill 11, stamina 18.
Oh, man.
So, thankfully, right now, with the sword plus the bonus of +2, I'm actually rolling at skill 12.
Which
However,
is pretty good.
Stamina 14.
Right. I should have been warming up dice all this time we were...
Apparently.
But I wasn't. Alas. First round?
First round. Okay. That's not too bad. That's a 10 for me. So plus 12, 22.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I rolled a 7 plus 9 is 16.
Excellent. Oh no, remember you get to add another 2 on top.
Oh, yeah, plus the 2 is 18.
So 22 and 18.
Which is much better.
He rolled a 4. So a total of 15. That means we each land a hit on him.
Yeah.
And that has knocked 6 off his total.
Whew.
That's a third of his stamina gone already. This will be easy. No trouble at all.
That potion of invisibility.
However, this
As long as
time
we
I
stay
rolled a
on
5.
What do we got? I got another 7.
Okay, so I'm on 17 with this one.
Yeah, I'm 18.
Okay, and he rolls 8 plus 11 is 19. So he's going to hit one of us. And the one of us he hits is me. Now I have to roll this 1d6.
Yeah.
And it's a 2, so it only knocks 1 off my stamina, which is handy, frankly.
Yeah, very nice.
Very, very handy. Okay. Excellent. Okay, we go again. That's better. 10 plus 12, 22.
Mine's 9 plus 9 is a 20 total with
Excellent.
the plus 2.
And he...
I'll keep that.
a 6 plus 11 is 17. He loses to both of us. He is down to just 6 stamina.
We're almost there. It's within our grasp. It certainly feels it anyway.
Oh, and I've got an 11 rolled. So that's a 23.
I rolled a 6 plus 9 is 17 with the extra plus
17. Okay. And he's rolled a 3 plus 11 is 14. He takes 2 more hits from us and he is done.
Don't need those.
Potion of invisibility. Don't leave home without one, it turns out.
Oh, no.
Because he'd have been a bastard, especially if it'd only been one of us. An absolute bastard to take on. So,
with
396.
2 less skill each time.
Yeah.
And 1 less damage each time. Yeah, not to be sniffed at.
Definitely not. 396. With the Warlock now defeated, you know your quest is almost over. You approach the door with 2 locks. There are no keys around. You retrieve 2 keys from your pack and try them in the locks. They turn. You open the door and peer around. Turn to 242. If you have no keys, you may try to break down the door, and this will do the cost of almost all of your stamina. But either way, it then says just turn to 242. So, that's the only way out, is 242.
Did it assume we had to? Did it say you remove 2 keys?
Yeah, you have 2 keys in your pack.
If you don't have 2 keys,
it said it said you use your 2 keys. Oh, if you didn't have 2 keys, either way you go to 242.
That seems a weird mix. Like before, it had just been. It was more if you've got this, turn to this.
Mm. The door opens to reveal a small, dimly lit room. So this is room 242. The walls are hung with ornate curtains laced in silver and gold. A single flame burns in one corner, throwing light on a low table in the middle of the floor. On this table is a large chest. You step up to investigate the chest, and from all around, yet from nowhere, a mysterious sound fills the room. It sounds like the rumbling of thunderclouds preparing to make storm. You approach the chest and can see it is held shut by 3 locks. As you approach, the noise gets louder. Will you hack at the box with your sword to try and split it open, or search through your bags to see if you can find keys to fit? I feel we should try and fit our keys in if we can.
Yeah. It worries me we don't have enough, but yes, yeah. I agree. I mean, there's no point in not using what you have.
We might as well open whatever locks we can open, yes.
Yeah.
That's 139. We turn to 139. During your adventure, you will have come across various keys and should have collected some of these. You may now use 3 of these keys to try to open the locks on the chest. Each key is identified with a number. To determine whether you have the right keys, add their 3 numbers together. Now turn to the section which has the same number as this total, where you will discover whether you have used the correct keys. If you do not have 3 numbered keys, this is the end of your journey. You sit on the chest and weep as you realise you'll have to explore the mountain once more in order to find the keys.
Oh. Can we not just add up 111 and 99 and turn to that?
Well, I mean, we can, but I feel very strongly that that's not going to be the right answer.
A random place in the mountain.
Okay.
Ah.
Well, you know what? I think it's a good time to stop for the evening anyway.
Yes, it certainly is.
If we find that there is a suitable time, we can review this, jump back somewhere towards, 85 or something, and see if we can find a key close to the end. Jump back into somewhere that we didn't explore all of the possible things. Because there are a few places where we didn't explore everything.
Yeah, and there's a few at the beginning, to be fair. That,
yes. Yeah, I think
down that little section there's quite a few little bits and pieces.
So there are possibilities, but for now, let's call it a night and accept that at least on a first playthrough, the Warlock of Firetop Mountain has in fact defeated us.
Well, we escaped with our lives though, which
we did, and we killed the Warlock.
No small feat, I feel.
And a dragon.
Exactly.
Yeah, we killed the Warlock. We killed a dragon. There are strengths, to be honest.
There are, certainly. But it was tremendous fun. I thoroughly enjoyed that, Ben.
I thought it was absolutely lovely.
Yeah, and I would love to play this again. I would love to play any other of the books, to be fair. I think we could do it with 2 of us, with 3 of us, with 1 of us.
Yeah, I agree.
It was good fun.
I think this could be, riotously, riotously good fun.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And, it should be. It should be fun. They are supposed to be games after all, and it was. It was thoroughly entertaining.
Yeah, definitely. But also left a lot. We made it through on the first time, which I can't imagine necessarily would happen every time.
No,
some of the rolls are quite lucky, but even if you didn't make it through every time, I can imagine that there is a lot of replayability.
Yes.
In this sort of thing, there's a lot of avenues left unexplored, and
I believe the intention was that people who played these things through wouldn't necessarily play them through once. You would give it a shot, and then you would learn from that, and you would look at your map, and you'd have another go and try some different things.
Yeah. Try and find the Eye of the Cyclops, whatever that may be.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And there are potentially an enormous number of rooms we didn't explore and things we didn't find. But, nonetheless, it has been enormous fun.
It really has. It really has.
Yes. Whether or not we have a second go at this one, or if we've, played enough of it to move on and accept that this one did us, and next time we'll have a go at a different one. We have Citadel of Chaos, if we keep going in the numerical order. And Citadel of Chaos, let me just check, was written by Steve Jackson. So it's likely to be more a puzzle one than a dungeon crawl one, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So that one, possibly sometime in the future.
Which sounds great.
Brilliant.
Definitely.
Okay. Ewan, thank you so much. I had a brilliant time tonight.
No, it's been really good fun. I've honestly thoroughly enjoyed this. I will attempt to make sense of my mapping out tomorrow. Maybe draw up the second half of the map, although it looks slightly bigger. But it's been great fun. I've very much enjoyed myself.
Wonderful.
And of course, we're back tomorrow night with some Traveller boys from the Baltic Star.
Tomorrow night for Traveller, yes. Our ongoing campaign as the boys try to solve a murder. And then on Sunday night, it will become a Luke Plays evening once he's recovered from his party this evening.
Yes.
And he'll be throwing himself into the horror that is Until Dawn again, which is riotous fun. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you tomorrow with any luck or at some time in the future.
Yeah.
Cheers. Good night.
Good night.